From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod to the late and great Art Bell. I'm Keith Sharp.
And I'm G. Dressel.
And we welcome you to Life After Life, a paranormal webcast where we talk about the paranormal, UFOs, or the unexplained. And the biggest question of them all, what happens when we die? Stay tuned.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Garrett, I think we did a solid intro.
Yeah. Hey, did you turn the music off?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, well, that was because the other one was on YouTube.
Awesome. Hey, in my Instagram post, I think I had mentioned that. I was like, okay, guys, just letting you know, we start late every time, and we get the intro wrong 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's just our trademark.
style,
It's
dude.
trademark, man.
Yeah.
So, how is everybody out there? Thank you guys for showing up. We're going to do a little contest here a little bit later. So, we're going to give some people time to come in.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do a show today or not?
I don't know. Hey, I said it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come here, you guys.
Mikey. Here, right here.
This is my beautiful grandbaby.
Don't Roswell the UFO.
Oh. Say hi.
Hi.
Say I'm
Her name's
Lakin.
Bacon.
Say I'm Lakin.
Mm.
Are you gonna tell them to like and subscribe?
Say
Say-
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe and give us 100 likes, or else I'll come to your house and ruin your guys' life.
Oh, yes. Good.
Nice job. Thank you.
Hey, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, honey. You're just like your mother. You're just like your mother. You're just like your mother.
You like your mother.
All right. Hey, say
Love you, girl.
Love you.
Love you,
Bye.
honey. Bye.
love you. Bye.
Hey, was that not adorable?
Dude, I
Right?
will come to your house and ruin your lives. So, yeah, you guys better subscribe.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's hilarious.
let's go ahead and get anybody who wants. We don't have to do the thing right now, but anybody who wants a professional reading, psychic reading, we're having a giveaway today. What's the go grab that, Garrett. Take
Yes,
your
sir.
headphones off,
Moving,
please.
sir.
Go. God, I'm bossy, aren't I?
There goes the UFO.
No, it's still there.
I thought we got Roswell.
Okay. All right. So first, we got to figure out anybody who like a professional reading.
From the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah,
Military.
from the military medium. We're giving that away today. Put in a 1 if you want to be a part of this contest. And again, we got a little delay here, so I'll wait for you guys.
Hi, Mona.
Hey, Mona. Mona, what's up?
Good morning, Mona.
Mona nods off. She's an analytic, right on the analytics, about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm out.
No, she's on there all the time. Let's do some shout outs. Randy, how you doing? Scotty, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're feeling good. Savannah, Mel, Adelita, my co-worker. Hope you're doing fine.
Adelita,
I about
what's up?
said Garrett because you've been on there.
Yeah, I love being on there. I love talking to these people. It's fun.
So what do we got? All right, so Adelita says a 1. Mona, hello, Mona. Mona, okay, Scott says 1. Mona, do you want a free reading?
Yes, Mona said 1.
She did?
No.
She did not.
Mona-
If you don't want one, that's fine. That's okay. But I just want to get everybody so far. So, Pam, if you do me a favor, write down the name. So far, it's got 1.
Scott, Adelita.
Laugh out loud. I know how to play the game.
Yeah, you do. Yes, she does.
Yep.
72.
Greg Henry, 72. He doesn't get one.
Mona does not want a reading. She's like, no.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm totally. Hey, Mona, to be fair, that was the first time I ever had a reading, and I've never been anxious on this show before besides in that moment.
Yeah, that was weird because he
Freaking
was.
me out, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He was nailing everything, which was odd.
Over the phone.
Yeah. Well, he does. He can do that over the email too, which I find
Dude,
weird.
the one with Cass was really good, and then the one with Gel, I guess, was spot on. Because there were a few things like in Cass, like, I don't get it, but with Gel's, I guess it was like spot on, dude.
Okay.
Mel said 1.
Okay. So we got Mel.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience in the past, Mona. That's kind of what I was.
They scare me. Have had a bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of fearful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my very first reading back in the day. Yeah, it was kind of I was a little nervous.
So was that like face to face?
Yeah. Yeah,
How was
it?
it,
It was
though?
more like a tarot card reading.
Okay.
It was weird. It's just weird. And she was okay. But the military medium, he's the
real
man.
deal. Yeah.
Oh man, Mona says my reading actually came true. That's the scary part.
I get it.
So
yeah.
it must have been a negative thing, huh, Mona? Yikes.
Yeah.
Like someone you know is going to be in a
it's
car
almost,
wreck or
well,
something.
no, it would have been even.
I don't want to know stuff like that.
No, but it would have been even more almost reassuring if he got everything wrong.
Yeah.
Because I went home that night and I was like, what do I do with my life now? Like,
Oh, yeah,
he
but-
just nailed everything that
Yeah.
and there's no way he could have done that.
He
so.
did. I mean, there's so many bad, like spiritual people or medium. I guess they're not medium. They're psychics. Not mediums is when they
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
have someone come through. But I mean, most of the time they're wrong. It's like they're just kind of guessing until.
Yeah. Well,
What's
they're
your
picking
favorite
up-
color? Red?
Yeah.
Purple? Green? Yellow?
Yeah.
Eventually they're
Yeah.
going to get it.
Is there a girl in your life? Is there a girl in your life?
Yeah. Do you have a mother? I do. You're right.
Yeah, you got it.
You're 100%.
Now, hey, Netflix Surviving Death, great series. If anybody wants
Yeah.
to watch that, it's unbelievable.
Also, OA on Netflix.
Oh,
is
yeah, I've seen
awesome.
it. Is it? Okay, cool.
Oh my
I'll check it out.
God, it's so
Okay.
good. So if you guys you need to watch that if you can. But all right, let's see. We got how many people? 10. I'm not starting the
Perfect
show
little
till we
cla-
get 30.
Perfect little
Nah.
class. Perfect little
Hey
class
Kim,
today.
how are you? Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. She likes the topic.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get started. Dreams just I talked to Garrett earlier. I almost think that we go somewhere. I mean, I don't know that it's all these, they talk about being mind games and
Right.
it's almost like you're kind of a release from the day
Right.
and that kind of thing. Because then you got to talk about the dreams that people have that come true. How do they know that? Who's
Right.
contacting them in a dream? And then like Cassidy having a dream of my dad who passed away
And Granny.
and her granny
Right.
came through.
Almost the exact same kind of timing, too. It was like literally like 2 weeks.
So I think there's something about that spiritual plane, right?
Yeah, and what about Kennedy telling me on the way home, I was asking, we were talking about dreams, and she was saying that she had a dream about a little girl named Sally that was like really believable and realistic. And so then that calls into the question, what about those dreams that absolutely don't make sense? So how are you pulling that from your day?
Right.
If you know what I'm saying, if you're trying to decompress, where in the hell did Sally come from?
Right. Then that's what Garrett and I was talking earlier about that. And it was like, well, what about those dreams? Just like what she said. It's
Yeah, yeah.
What, when they don't make sense and you can't figure out or put it together with what your day was or even a past event. It's just something
Right.
some elf walking around hitting a hammer on stuff or something,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
now what do I need to look at that?
Yeah, for sure.
But
Do you have
Randy says like astral projections. Yes, that's what I kind of think, Randy. Astral projections, perhaps.
Yeah.
Then people's
absolutely.
had like almost where you can do lucid dreaming, which I guess did you look at?
So I mean, I didn't listen. It was crazy, and that's why I kind of wanted to do this show is because not that I'm saying that we didn't put a lot of time into it, but we were both really crazy busy.
Yeah.
And so dreams is something that like everybody has, right? And I remember growing up, a friend of mine was trying to train himself to lucid dream. He claims to have been able to by every night looking at his hand and saying, I'm real.
Yeah.
I'm real for like 5 minutes, going to sleep and doing that repetitively until he was able to control his dreams.
That would seem to me be so hard to do.
You would have, well, it goes
because
back
to me
the
it's like
belief.
once you lose consciousness, then how do you? Because you'd have to almost not be in REM sleep. You'd have to
Right.
be like in a light sleep if you're controlling it. Because I think that would be. I would just nod off. It's just like self hypnosis.
Right.
Like I got pretty good at it, but there's
Yeah.
times when I just nod off. I'm done.
Right. Yeah, and so I think
And-
that's why he did it for so long, was that it just took kind of like that practice and that it's almost like a meditation type thing.
Yeah.
So, and who's to say that he really did? I'm not inside of his mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking at some of the chat things here. So Kim says, by the way, I loved your series on
She's from
Delphi.
Canada.
Yeah. Your vibe is so cool and welcoming. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Actually, I'm thinking we're going to do an update on Delphi
We've
next
been
week.
asked.
Well, we got a new suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read about it?
I haven't.
And
I've just seen.
I'm not saying it's him,
I've
but
heard some
he
chatter.
looks a lot like the sketch,
Yeah.
and some of the recordings I've heard of his voice sound pretty close. And we'll save it for next week. But
For sure.
hopefully, I mean, I'm just so ready for this thing to be done.
Oh yeah.
And just
I know.
catch this guy and then close the book on Delphi.
I posted that on our Instagram too, kind of talking about it, like
Yeah.
how difficult that was
Yeah.
and everything like that.
It was a tough show because, I mean, we were just kind of digging into
Mona
it.
said, yes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Delphi next week. And we'll catch everybody up on this new suspect and see what you guys think as well. If you think this guy is the guy,
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope it is.
Oh God, that would be so
The motive is
awesome,
pretty
dude.
similar, and we'll get into that next week.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, let's go into this dreams.
Go for it.
What are dreams? Next on the BBC. Dreams. Okay, now I'm going to be reading part of this, all right?
Go for it,
Because,
yeah.
hey, I had a dumpster, I had to dump. It's a whole thing. Dreams are basically stories and images that our mind creates while we sleep. They can be vivid, they can make you feel happy, sad, or scared, and they may seem confusing or perfectly rational. Dreams can happen at any time during sleep, but you have your most vivid dreams during a phase called REM, which we talked about a second ago, when your brain is most active. Some experts say we dream at least 4 to 6 times a night. Now, do you have there's sometimes do we dream every night? Because there's sometimes I wake up.
Supposedly.
Yeah, how many of you guys dream every single night? I don't think I do.
Well, supposedly.
Or if I do, I don't remember.
Yeah. I think that Kim's talking about Matt. I think that we dream every single night. I don't recall my dreams very often though. Cass does, like abnormally. Like Cass is a very vivid dreamer.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think Cass is a little psychic too.
I do too. No, I do too.
And I bet psychics and mediums and those people do have those prophetic dreams.
Right, for sure.
Possibly.
For sure.
But like I said, there's some nights I don't think I remember even dreaming anything. And if I do, a long
I'll
time
tell you
ago, it
when
don't
I
make
do
sense.
remember. I'll tell you when I do remember is when I take that little hour nap in the middle of the day. I take an hour nap every day.
Yeah.
And when I wake I always dream in that.
Really?
And I wake up and I remember it and then it goes away because immediately I have to go do something.
Yeah, and then you forget the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So, Garrett, why do we dream? Is it just for, like you had a good explanation earlier. You're talking about our mind has so much stuff in one day or even a couple days.
Input.
And so is it
right.
like what I said earlier? It's like a release or something? I mean,
Yeah.
do we have, if we didn't dream, would we die? Would we go crazy? Would we, because I've
Right.
read stories about it's like dreaming is important to part of your life.
Yeah, so I've read that where it's used obviously to diffuse and to understand. It's like a mechanism. So I think that would go into evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like is our brains evolving and we're trying to figure out how to make sense of the world that's around us.
Right.
That could definitely be a possibility. I don't think that's what dreams are necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, and
That's the cool thing about dreams, dude. We don't really know. It is paranormal.
well, Freud was like is unconscious desires, thoughts, motivation.
He likes sex.
yeah, a lot of his
Yeah,
a lot of them were,
Desire,
sex,
though.
desire. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
right. So I mean, and I don't think I agree with that at all. But it's like also the more tension, more anxiety, depression. Those people who have those problems seem to dream more, is what they say.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Or have more vivid dreams. Because I don't, like, for me, I do believe that everybody dreams every night. Like, I believe that you dream every night and that I dream
I just don't
every night.
remember it.
Yeah. I just feel like there's some dreams you remember and there's some dreams you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I really think, like I said, my thoughts on it is we possibly like go to a different dimension
Right.
or something like that. I don't think it's just unraveling the day is
Right,
event
right,
or
right,
stuff
right.
because I said there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
I can't, which I've already said already. But let me talk about this
Yeah,
one
go
story.
For it.
Okay, so an interesting thing to me is the people who have these prophetic dreams, and there was one where I was talking to you earlier about this girl who she had this recurring nightmare of this tall, skinny guy in about his 40s molesting kids, and she kept having these every day for weeks.
Right.
So like about 3 weeks later, after these dreams started, her mom and her and went to go pick up her brother at a friend's house, and she said at one of the houses next to the kid's house,
Yes.
she saw the guy come out the door.
The guy from her dream.
From her dreams, yeah. And
she knew right away.
Yeah, well, she told everybody in the car. She goes, "That's the guy from my dream that was molesting kids." So they go home. And of course they didn't report it or anything like
because
that.
it's just
Because you,
at
well,
that
you,
point
you,
it's hearsay.
you can't go to the police station and go, "Hey, I had a dream."
Punch somebody in the face, right? Okay.
So about a week later, I think it was a week or two later, this guy's arrested for having a sex club with young
oh
children.
my God, dude.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I think what's interesting is that, and I would be curious to know, was it a visual thing or was it like a physical thing? Like, did she physically feel the presence of this person? Like, I know she saw him, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if she had like a physical reaction to it, like some anxiety or
I would
some
think so.
fear or
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then this guy turns out to be, so it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, and I asked you, like, is that like a form of mediumship though? Like, or
Well, it could be. It could be. Later as this little girl grows up, it'd be interesting to see if she is having prophetic dreams.
Was it a little girl?
She was like a younger teenage girl.
Oh, okay. So she was like a teenager.
Yeah, she wasn't like 20 or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
No, she was a young.
That's even more fascinating.
No. She was a
honestly.
young girl. It didn't have her age, but
That's even more fascinating, honestly.
right. Yeah. So it's like, so what's my thing is like, okay, how did that get in her head?
Right.
And why did it get in her head? Because if the spirit or whatever was trying to talk to her, you would think, okay, well, I need to have this girl to call the police,
Right.
which she didn't.
But yeah.
So what's the significance, I guess, is what I'm getting at as
but also
as putting that thought in that girl's head and having her go through that.
Okay, well, think about
But
this:
with-
the proximity of where she had to go to that person. Is that just a coincidence? Like, had she seen this person, like in the past, going, and so that's implanted into her head, and then that's when a spirit would intervene and say, "Hey, girl with impressionable mind, just clip it of what you're seeing in your head."
Or it could be to warn her so that if
She doesn't get
possibly
pulled into it, right?
that he tried to pick her up.
And yeah, so the spirit
You know,
would know,
one of-
hey, this girl is going in and out down the street, and
Right.
okay, man, that's interesting. Well, and you would think from our past shows, a lot of times when we talk about spirits intervening with like a person that maybe, and I believe that everybody can learn to be medium. Like, I just believe that, and so I believe that we all have that innate ability within us to interact with the other side.
But don't you think it's stronger with some people?
I think it's natural with some people. I mean, I think that like right off the bat. Oh,
But
definitely.
you actually think that
Definitely.
anybody can do it on the level of
Yes.
someone like James Prague or something like
I
that?
don't know about on that level. That's like saying like with Michael Jordan or something. Like, you just can't become Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do think that we have, even with Cass, like we talk about that.
Well, yeah,
So,
I think we all have some psychic ability, but I don't know that we would have.
well, I think that you would have to train. We talked about it before. You would have to train and practice and dedicate yourself to it, because a lot of this stuff is about awareness. So circle it back around to this 15-year-old girl. We're giving her an age. Is that maybe a spirit, and we talk about this a lot, would see an impressionable young lady, and when is a good time to maybe infiltrate and give a message? It
Yeah.
would probably be when you're asleep, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that would go into an argument like, is your brain more protective or less protective when you're asleep? Like, that's the two thoughts on dreams. Is it conscious or unconscious, right?
Ooh, that's good.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question.
Yeah. And so, well, we'll talk about it a little bit. But no, that's so the spirit thing with the dream with that story itself is actually quite interesting. That's
Right.
good for you for bringing that up. Good for you.
What?
That story. That was
Yeah.
no, really.
I just made it up. No, actually, you can look that story up. Just so I'm not lying, but there's actually it happened in Clovis, and
New Mexico, eh?
yeah, and the guy I'll find it in a minute. But anyway, yeah, it's actually because when I first read about it and heard it, I actually kind of questioned it,
Right.
Because it almost sounds like one of those a scary story of
Right.
But yeah,
We'll have people out there that if you
What?
with the chats going. I mean,
are you reading?
I was just for a second. Like, let us know if anybody's had prophetic dreams.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I don't know if you guys just saw my post on Facebook, but I said, yeah, if you're not too shy, give us a call. 205-730-6441 and let's talk about your dream.
See, I think that people like to talk about their dreams. You know, I have weird dream, a history with dreaming.
You do.
I almost didn't get into West Point because of my dreaming. Did you know that?
I did not.
You did not know that?
You never told me.
I don't talk about that stuff much.
So let's hear it.
Well, when I was a kid, and it was like during and I was just on the phone with a friend who would remember this, probably from 7 until about 12 or 13, I was a really bad sleepwalker, really bad. And it got to the point where I was making phone calls.
Oh my God.
And so and back then we didn't have cell phones, so we just had what's called landline. And so, and I still remember this number. This is going to be so crazy. I'm going to throw it out there if anybody wants to call it and see if it's still alive. I know they still live there. 405-376-1674. No, hey, because I still remember it. It was my best friend that lived around the street. And I called and talked to his mom about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Did she say what you talked about?
Yeah, I was letting her know that I was going to come over and play with my friend Landon and everything like that. So, and she knew that I was a sleepwalker because we used to live across the street from her, so I would spend the night. And so she just talked. She played along.
She knew you were.
Yeah, and it lasted about 30 seconds, and then hung up. She went back to sleep. And then so the next day they obviously say, "Hey, Gary, you called us last night. What in the hell?" Right? Didn't remember. And so probably about a year later. The following summer, we had been playing a lot, and we used to play kick the can.
Yeah,
I remember that game under the street light as neighborhood kids. And I go to sleep, and the next thing I know, I am in my boxers. This is about I was probably about 12, and I am about to knock on Landon's door, and I wake up, and I'm like, whoa, what am I? I'm confused. I'm 12. I'm in my boxers, right?
How dangerous is this?
Yeah, and at the time, I don't know if you remember this back in Mustang in the early 2000s, late 99s, we actually had a gang problem. Did you know that?
I remember you mentioned it on another show. And I don't remember ever having a gang problem there.
Yeah, it was bad. They were doing bad things. And so we had police patrols going around my neighborhood at the time. And so that was like my immediate fear was, oh God, I'm in my boxers outside. Cops are going around I don't know where I'm at. Okay, I'm at Landon's house. And so I had to sneak all the way back. And the funny thing is I actually had to knock on my front door and ring the doorbell until my parents woke up. And my mom was always like, why didn't you just, because I went out the back door.
Oh, okay.
I went out the back sliding door. I walked around, opened my gate, walked all the way around the neighborhood to my friend's house, and woke up when I was about to knock on the door. And so it was a really bizarre thing. I did it in a hotel room on a trip with my friend Jimmy. Woke up in the middle of the night and trying to open the door. They luckily knew I sleptwalk, so they had that thing up there. I in my sleepwalking mind didn't think to pull the latch. Right, that would have been bad. That could have been very bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, somehow I don't know how. Maybe I went and had seen a doctor about it. My parents were worried at some point. It was in my file. So whenever I'm going to West Point, they start to ask me about my sleeping habits because you can't sleepwalk in the Army, and so I had to go get passed off by a doctor. And
so they do a sleep study, all the
they
whole
didn't.
thing?
No. Literally, she was like, "Okay, so you've never like sleptwalked out the house or anything, right?" And my mom's over there in the corner. She's looking at me with my eyes. She's going. And I'm like, no, never, and just completely lied my ass off. And okay, cool, all checked off. And I never had the problem though. So it kind of goes back to that thing, like, I was
going to say like Garrett grabs the M16 in boot camp and starts.
I was going to say, I wonder if that goes to the point that I never really had that issue once I left. Like, I had a legitimate fear that when I was in the Army or when I was in training or anything like that, and that I was going to get up and start to sleepwalk in the woods or like walk off a cliff or, like you said. And so I wonder if that plays into it, which would be a conscious thing. God damn.
Oh.
No bad language.
Again, guys, PayPal me or Cash App. Let's raise money for a chair for Garrett. How about that?
For when I go to confession and the priest says, go put money on the box over there. You said, God damn.
Yeah. Come on, we need $60. Give Garrett a chair.
Yeah. But that goes back to the conscious versus the unconscious brain.
I don't think I've ever sleptwalked in my life. But
it's kind of scary, like, to think about it.
Yeah, just think if you would have
No
walked
control.
across I-35 or something, or
Yeah.
you walked on interstate.
Well, have you seen your kids sleepwalk though? It's terrifying.
Yeah, Dylan used to do that.
Yeah.
But he would just get up.
Right.
And one time he got up and started dancing.
Weird things,
which is
right?
weird, yeah.
Well, hey, and some
Beatboxing.
That's
and-
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So, you hear about kids that'll go and even an adult. Well, Larry used to do this just because he was hammered. But he would go, all of a sudden he's pissing in the closet. You're like, what are you doing, dude? But you do hear about kids doing weird things like that, right? Like they're like in the closet, like using the bathroom. You're like, what are you doing? They have no clue. They're
a lot of
completely out
times
of it.
Dylan would get up from his bed. He'd either come and get in bed with me and Pam, not remember it, or he'd go lay on the couch. And that was, I mean, thank God he never went out the front door.
Right.
Or something.
Or the
but-
back door and didn't
the back
remember.
door.
I had to like knock on the door. It was embarrassing, dude. I was like, oh my God. My parents were like, what are you doing?
That's so scary, man.
But you also hear about people that sleepwalk and you try to wake them up and they get ultra aggressive and violent. Have you ever heard of that, Manuel?
Yes.
I've actually heard it used in a
Oh my
in a
God.
murder defense.
Yeah, it was funny you brought that up because when I was listening to some of the dream stuff, one of them was these people. They had it on hidden camera,
Right.
or not what they were watching them, right?
Yeah.
And this guy was just like beating the crap out of his wife,
Yeah.
And then he dreamed he was a samurai. What do you call him? Samurai warrior.
Yeah.
And he was like in the bed going like doing this with his
To his wife?
no.
Oh, okay.
Right in front of him.
Okay.
But he said he killed the enemy in the dreams, and then
Good.
he just stops and he goes back to bed. But there's one where, this guy was just like he thought his wife was attacking him in the dream, so he's
Right.
actually
Defending
assaulting
him. Right.
assaulting
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
But yeah, I've heard of the murder case you're talking
Yeah,
about. I
the
can't
defense.
remember
I
exactly.
think he actually ended up getting I think he got off. I'm not sure.
Really?
That sounded terrible.
Yeah. Well.
No bad
It
language.
wasn't bad language.
Well,
I
just
just misspoke.
No bad scenarios.
No, but yeah. So it can be scary.
Yeah.
And I used to sleep eat. I would wake up.
Have you heard of those people who like eat raw hamburger meat and stuff?
Well, I know people that do that consciously awake.
No, I'm
Swear
talking
to
about.
God, though they do.
That's-
They're-
ugh.
Yeah, there's a sandwich up in Wisconsin or somewhere you can eat it, but I haven't heard of people sleeping and then eating raw meat.
Sleep eating, and
Oh God!
like they say they were thawing hamburger out for the next day. They would get up in the middle of the night and they'd open the package and they'd just start eating this raw hamburger meat,
They wake up the next day, it's like
raw bacon.
honey, you really need to brush your teeth.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah, no, so
imagine?
I would wake up and have like a damn Pop-Tart stuck to my back. And I'd be like, like, what the hell? Like, I get up and it would be stuck to my, I'd be like, something's on my back, And
Yeah.
I get in my fucking Pop-Tart.
And you had no memory of getting it.
No memory at all. No
Wow.
memory. Yeah. So, what about the dreams you do have memories about, though? Like, did you ever have, I asked Katie this earlier, have you ever had reoccurring dreams?
I have not. Man, my dreams for the most part are just either really bizarre or they're just nothing to even think about. I mean, I don't have anything that's like really cool, like a prophetic dream or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, just, what about you, Pam, on your dreams?
Mine seem to be kind of psychedelic.
Cool.
When I don't.
That's neat.
I don't know why, but
That's fun,
most of the
though.
time it seems like when I have dreams, they're just bizarre.
Yeah.
Like I'm riding in teacups in an underground or underwater amusement park with
That's
giant
fun.
mermaids.
Dang, she's having fun.
Yeah, I do. Well, I
you
have
know,
adventure
so,
dreams.
yeah, just bizarre stuff.
Well, it kind of
like
goes
that.
to that point, though. Like, it's kind of interesting to talk about the types of dreams we have, because that goes towards the like humanistic theory or whatever they call it of dreaming, which is your dreams are meant to stabilize you. Right, they're used to balance you out. So, like with your job, Pamela, which is a very difficult job. Maybe that's her brain that's giving her some peace, love, and tranquility, man. Riding on some teacups under the water.
God, amusement parks? That's what you dream about?
An underwater amusement park.
What in the hell?
Giant teacups.
But is that
giant
reoccurring?
mermaids. No, but it was just very vivid and stuck
Right.
with me for some reason.
Well, I wonder why.
I've
never been to
did
Disneyland.
when I was. I haven't either.
That's what's fascinating. Yeah.
When I was
I want an amusement park.
younger, like I want to say probably 6 or 7, I spent a lot of time with my maternal grandparents. Spent the night there a lot, and I'd go to sleep in one place and wake up in another place. You know, like go to sleep in a bed, wake up on the sofa,
yes,
go to
yes,
sleep
yes.
on one
Yes.
living room couch, wake up
For
on
sure.
another
Yeah.
in the den couch,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever. And you know, I remember asking my granddad, "Why'd you move me?" And he said, "I didn't move you." He said, "I came out at midnight and you're running around the coffee table screaming."
Yeah. No.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said he just grabbed a hold of me and he shook me and said, "Stop it."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess went limp and he just laid me back down.
Oh, crazy, dude.
You know, I have no clue.
Kennedy would do that
what
from time to
happened.
time when she was younger, where she would be so out of sorts that she's
Yeah.
freaking out.
Right.
Yeah, I've had 3 reoccurring dreams in my life,
And what were they?
and they're all during different stages of my life. So I've mentioned this before on the podcast when I was a younger kid. I'm guessing here maybe 8 until about 12. Which I keep saying those numbers, by the way. It's kind of interesting. Where I was like in the 1800s, late 1800s, and I was in a cabin, and I was in some sort of coma state, and I had a fever, and my family was around me. But I was aware that everything I was thinking, I was saying out loud so they could hear it.
You know, that's funny you said that because, again, when I was listening to different shows and stuff on
Right.
dreams, that they believe also you can dream about your past life.
Right. I brought it up on
So do you think-
yeah, that's when I
Do you
actually
really
brought it
think
up.
that was a past life, maybe?
Well,
or do
I
you
said,
think
remember, because we were talking about birthmarks, and I was like, and you guys didn't think I
right.
had the birthmark, and I was like, well, what if I had like some sort of shot that got infected, or
Yeah.
back in the late 1800s? I do believe that is a possibility, obviously. What I lean more towards though is like my life. So I often because my parents would tell me that when my twin brother would be in the hospital when I was a really tiny kid, like Cleo's age, like 3 or 4, he was really sick in the hospital. I had to stay with Mimi, and I actually pulled 2 chairs together and laid on it and got a fever, just like he did.
I remember you saying that,
And
yeah.
so whenever I was thinking about that
Wow.
dream in hindsight, like later in life, because it stuck with me, it was such a weird recurring dream for a kid to have, is that I thought maybe that was a very tumultuous time for me in my life with my brother, right? Being sick and like me not being able to communicate with him. And so, and I always had that thought, like, I know he's thinking something, like I see it, like you can, when you look at somebody, he's thinking something, what is it? And so that's where I go back to for that dream specifically. So,
Wow. I've never had I've never had a recurring
Yeah.
dream or anything. I'd be kind of cool, I guess. But
I remember telling Cass about that one.
I would like
'cause that
to.
one
I
was
would like to have a dream about like a past life or something like that.
Yeah, and it could be though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. But here's where it throws it off. So I've told you about the dream I had when I was going through the academy of drowning, right? And somebody calling my name and I can't see, and then they
Right.
wake up, like right. Had that often, but also we were trained to power nap. Like legitimately, like
Yeah.
we would put ourselves in that. So 20-minute power naps, and that's when I would have it.
Mm-hmm.
And so had that, got over it. Don't know how. Just kind of went away. Maybe when I got out of the army or whatever. And then for the longest time after the tornado hit my facility, remember when the tornado
Yep.
destroyed the facility?
I do.
I lived with these blue tiles in our house. I think I ended up counting 44,000 tiles, some crazy amount.
Wait a minute. You counted this?
Well, I had to because we were moving, so I had to lay it out and I had to plan it
Oh,
for our
wow.
move, right?
Wow,
And so
okay.
yeah, it
Gotcha.
took me about a year.
Okay, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
But during that time, my reoccurring dream is that I was, dude, and you can verify all these with Cass. I was talking to her while I was having these. Is that I was climbing up a mountain of blue tiles, And then when I would get, because they're really slippery, like when I was going through the tornado, you had to be very careful because if I stepped on a stack of 4, I would all of a sudden go sliding down. So in the dream, I'd be climbing a stack of blue tiles. I would climb and climb and climb, and then I would get all the way to the top and just slide all the way back down. And I could never reach the top.
Wow.
I could never reach the top, and I would have that.
So was the
often.
sliding like falling to your death?
No,
or was it just
all the way? I would wake up. I would go all the way back down and then wake up. And it'd be
remember
like,
that they used, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So
I just remember when they used to say that if you dreamed you were falling and you hit the ground that you would die.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, you would go to like you
It's
can
like,
actually.
so
have a
how did you
physical-
guys find that out if they're dead?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So, but that kind of throws off the past life thing because that was when I was living literally in a house that every room I went into had stacks of blue tiles, right? And so that reoccurring dream was me like fighting with that, being like, "Damn, am I ever gonna build this court?" Like, and so never feeling like I'm getting to the top of it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating. What do we got?
I'm just looking at some stuff.
Yeah, let's see it.
Mel says, "Remember having a dream about clowns chasing me."
Well,
Ooh,
no thanks.
yeah.
Something kind of interesting that's come up about talking about assault cases or whatever related
Yes.
to sleepwalking, those types of things, is behaviors induced by Ambien.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I can speak on that.
I can too.
Yeah.
I
Go, you- go ahead.
blacked out on Ambien one time.
I ended up in a different room, at barracks room. They
Yeah.
gave me Ambien when I was in the Army, and dude, I woke up like 3 floors down in my friend's room. He's like, I couldn't wake you up. I just let you.
Yeah, they're
you're
having
acting crazy.
huge problems
He's
with
like,
that.
You're acting crazy, bro.
Yeah. And people actually getting in their car, driving across town
Yes.
to a friend's house or to a 24-hour store.
Super dangerous, dude.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was what was the other one, Pam? Ambien, and there was something else came out right after Ambien, and it was the same kind of problems they were
Right.
having.
I mean, we did our own little experiment though. We were like, hey,
Talking
let's
about Restril?
No, I can't remember what it was called.
take an Ambien and then chug a Red Bull and see what happens.
Thank you.
Take an Ambien and drink about
Don't.
4 beers.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, yeah. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying it is, but it puts you in a crazy place.
Oh yeah, Red Bull alone puts me in a crazy place.
Yeah.
I don't do energy drinks.
I
don't
don't
either.
either. I'm off of them. But yeah, interesting about Ambien. I would be interested to see if any of those cases involved Ambien. But I think that if you've ever been around somebody that is completely in a trance while they're asleep, I had this at the house with one of Kennedy's friends, and I'm glad the parents called me in advance because I could have decked a kid. Like I could have walked in my living room. I was so scared. I walk in my living room. She's just standing there staring at me. You know, I'm like I had some, because if I didn't know, I'd be like, oh my God, demon, kill him. Who's the guy that fought the demon? That weirdo ghost hunter. He took his shirt off, tried to fight him.
Zach Bagans.
Yeah, I go Zach Bagans on somebody.
Yeah.
And
then I just gotta stop you.
Go ahead.
To me, that's just so comical. It's like, why is he taking his shirt off to fight a demon?
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, I want to recreate that where I get to take my shirt off. But the thing is like, dude, she had this kind of like aggressive.
Lunesta.
Yes.
Lunesta.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Who said that?
Randy said lumen or something, and that's when it clicked for me. Was Lunesta.
Lunesta. Yes. Yeah.
Butterfly. It's actually a Luna moth.
Yeah, because I tried both of those, and it did not work for me at all. And then plus you get this horrible. And I don't know if they ever fixed this, but you had a bitter taste. Like if you drank anything, it just tasted bitter.
Bizarre.
Everything.
Bizarre.
Sugar drinks, bitter.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. And that was something they were trying to work on to fix that.
Lack of sleep is very dangerous.
It is, man.
I did
it's
it for a
horrible
lot of
for
years,
you.
man.
I started getting where, like you, when I get home from work, I'll take about an hour and a half nap now.
Yep. I
Where
try to
didn't
hit
used to.
6 hours at least.
Yeah.
At a minimum. And I think that's what I can I can maximize my life. Yeah, 6 hours.
My average sleep probably for a long time was
3 hours,
about
bro.
3-4 hours.
Yep. Me too.
Something
for
like that.
a long time.
Yeah,
But
I think a lot of your challenge though is your sleep pattern is really fractured.
Yeah.
mine too, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, my work, I work at night. So,
Yeah.
dude, it's hard. Like when you
But
get
it's-
off at night, it's hard to like dial down.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
different than because I pulled night shifts,
Right,
and
yeah.
I've, and not just here a couple weeks ago, but
Well, yeah.
in my younger years,
Yeah.
I pulled night shifts. I'm a night owl. I
Me too,
I don't have a
I am too.
problem with that either.
Yeah.
But it's different. I've always told people I would rather stay up till 5 than get up at 5.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I think that though when you go into those patterns of it's one thing to be on that schedule of I'm working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Right.
versus I'm working from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. and I don't have to be back at work until 3 tomorrow, so I'll just stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when you really start kind of you have to be real disciplined. And I heard a physician once describe it as you need to put yourself on a sleep hygiene program.
Absolutely. That's what I ended up having to do. I think routine's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
Hey,
what?
God. Jared Garner mentioned something in there. He said that he feels like it's really interesting that when people are dreaming that they talk out loud.
Yeah, it's funny if you don't mind me saying, Pam.
No,
Pam sings in her sleep.
That's man.
Or
it could be worse.
Yeah, no, it's
you haven't heard me sing.
I guess that's
no,
true.
she'll either sing or she'll hum,
That's interesting.
and it's like I try to see is this and I mean where's this tune
Yeah.
coming from? What
Right.
is it? But she just does it in short bursts. Like
Man, that just triggered. That's creepy.
It is kinda.
Hey, that just triggered another thought, man, about this. I was actually really excited to do this show. Cass told me that when I sleep, I have I mimic movements like Nathan.
oh really?
Really, yeah. Like I curl my hands up, I do my fingers. I move like certain ways that remind her of Nathan.
I
is
think
interesting.
there is a connection. I think with twins.
Yeah, but I was thinking more along the lines of whenever we did our reincarnation episode, and Pamela brought up that awesome point about like, well, maybe people like Nate are like closer to Nirvana. Is that maybe
Right.
it is the connection would have to be spiritual, I guess.
Oh God, yeah.
Twins, right? Like, I was thinking like an actual were connected. No, yeah. So, but that's fascinating. It goes back to that spiritual side of dreams, though.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing about dreaming is like literally we do not have an answer for it.
Right.
Am I right?
Yep.
Do we have an answer for it? Do we know why? Or did I miss that in my
No,
research? Okay.
no. In fact, talking about answers for dreams, they said there's no scientific
Right. Yeah.
proof of what it is.
How could-
They're speculating that, like we've talked about before,
Right.
it's just a release that you have to have.
Right.
And,
There's
but-
another theory that your brain is picking up, like I said earlier, imagine just a camera taking shots throughout the day.
Right.
And then when you sleep, that's actually fragmented. Therefore, the only thing to fill the void, because your brain has to be active, is your imagination. So that's when all of a sudden, like, you end up in a teacup spinning
Yeah.
around, like under the.
This is interesting because I have this happen to me all the time. Have you ever had a dream so real that when you woke up, you weren't sure you were awake? I've had that happen where I've actually thought, I mean, almost
Right.
where I've been late for work. I dream I'm getting up, getting ready for work,
Right.
and and then I
Wow.
just go back to sleep, and
Yeah.
I still think, so
Okay, I get it.
so
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when I wake up too, it's like, did I get up and get ready and lay back down?
You're right.
And-
I got you.
because
yeah.
it was so real. Because
Dude, I have dreams. I wish Cass would call in. Now that 'cause this is
Cassidy,
bringing
call
up-
in.
This is bringing up a bunch of things. I have dreams that I'm still at West Point. I mean, a lot of West Point guys have these.
I'll have dreams that I'm still.
It's scary though, dude. I wake up because I'm my age, and somehow they're like, "Hey, you got to come back," and I'm like, "Oh God, like, that's hell,
Dude,
And
yeah.
And but I wake up terrified and feeling so weird and bizarre, and I always immediately tell Cass, I say, I had another West Point dream. She's like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah. And then that feeling of relief when you wake up,
Yeah.
because there's like, I have those dreams where it's like, I'll go back to past jobs where there's deadlines or responsibilities.
Right.
And in a dream, I'm panicking. It's like, God, I'm not
Right.
ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank you, God.
Yeah, it's good that we're talking about this because I remember going through a period in my life where I was training and at the gym so much that when I went to sleep, my dreams would be of me running training sessions. And I remember it continuing and me waking up and being like, Cass, I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like I I feel like I can't escape it. And I don't know how. Maybe I just got hammered one night and just that went away. No, I can't remember how I knocked that cycle off. But it's weird how like these phases happen though, and that kind of goes to the point that it's your mind evolving and evolving you as a person, trying to make you understand something.
I think it may be a little different too for each person. A lot of it, I think, is like coping mechanisms in a way. Yeah. It just came to mind for me when you said that. When I was 19. I took a course to study to be EMT on the ambulance. And I'd finished the class and was getting ready to do my state test to get my certification so that I could actually go to work. And I was real focused in on, passing the test. And this was in the olden Goldie days where they were still doing it with pen and paper. Absolutely. And it took you 2 months to get your test results in. But for about a week before I went to test, I would have dreams every night, and I was living in the dorm with a roommate. I'd have dreams every night that were like disaster movies, and the one that came to mind for me, is we were in an elevator and it was, we were kind of stuck between floors, and I'm sitting down and I'm holding this little kid's head in my lap, and I'm palpating the skull for injury, and the back of the skull just feels like a sponge.
Oh God.
And it's just like, towering inferno and, and what was that movie? The Poseidon Adventure and, Dante's Peak all wrapped into one,
But you're like apocalypse dreams.
They really are.
Crazy.
Do you think that was your body and your mind preparing you for the anxiety you had of either taking the test or getting the result back? Like, for instance, my brain is going to act so freaking crazy and give me the worst case scenario that if, God forbid, I screw up on this test or I get the result back, at least it's not as scary as what I'm going through in my head. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think that was...
Oh!
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's get it. Hey, life after life, you're on the air.
Hello, you remember me?
Hello? Who's this? Hello? Well, it's from Illinois, so I'm guessing it's Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
Savannah, is that you?
I want to hear about your dream.
And me too, but we can't hear.
You have 5 seconds.
Art would go 4, 3, 2, 1.
We love you.
Savannah, call us back, okay?
Yeah.
Call us back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so hey, and it was I was gonna mention this earlier. Is another funny aspect of my dream world is that I have adventure dreams, and so dude, and I'll be like saving the freaking world in these dreams, and it's just action packed, fun, and I was like, okay, I did play Call of Duty a lot until my PS4 just broke recently. I said, okay, so that could definitely account for it, or maybe because I'm pretty impulsive. I think we all are in this room.
Yeah, everybody.
Like, yeah. And so, like, I'll do something.
Not impulsive.
She's super level-headed, actually.
Yeah, that's true. She's pretty cool.
You and I, like, for instance, like, you'll
I'm
get
a
an
processor.
Yes, you're a
Yeah,
processor.
she's much safe. She thinks about.
Yes,
she thinks about consequences where we don't.
Well, sometimes if I don't have like a lot of activity in my life, I'm like, okay, it's gotta spice this up a little bit. There we go.
All right, let's try this again, Savannah. All right, life after life. You're live on the air.
It's Savannah again. Sorry, it wasn't working last time.
Hey, no problem. How you doing, Savannah?
Wait.
I just with you, really? Yeah?
Wait,
Yeah.
what's your name?
It's Savannah. It's Melinda's
I thought
daughter.
she said Amanda.
No, Savannah. It's
Yeah.
It's Melinda's daughter.
Hi.
So you got a dream you want to share with
Yeah.
everybody?
So one time I had a dream about this kid who was born next to me.
Mm-hmm.
But look, well, let me explain everything. It's very weird. That kid's born next to me. The entire class heard it. But the next day at school, this the day I woke up after school, the day I woke up,
Mm-hmm.
the day I woke I sat next to this kid in class, and we're like in math right now. I'm writing down, we're helping each other with it. I'm sitting right next to this kid. He farts he's forever. I move my I help him. The entire classmates, after like 2 seconds, go, ew, who farted? The entire class goes, ew, who farted? I'm jealous.
Well, at least at
So
least it wasn't a nightmare, right?
It was a nightmare.
Well, I guess I was getting ready to say I guess it could be a nightmare.
Wait, so in the dream, the kid farts.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
and did you
but
know?
literally-
Wait, do you know this kid? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I know the kid. I was friends with the kid.
Okay, so he's your friend. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So your friend farts in
Actually,
class. Gotcha.
My friend next to me.
Sitting right next
I'm
to you.
over there, and the kid and one of the kids realized. I just hit my floor.
You're breaking up.
Sorry. So one of my classmates asked, "Yo, who farted?" And I had a choice to either talk or not tell them. So I was a good friend to tell them. No, I go apologize to my mom because I just can't hear with my door.
No, so hey, so what ended up happening? Did you tell on your friend?
Yeah, did you tell your friend about this dream?
No, did you tell on your friend in your dream?
Did you
Savannah.
say anything?
No, I didn't tell anybody else. I was
Okay.
such a good friend. I was a good friend. I didn't tell.
So in your dream, you didn't say anything when somebody said, "Hey, who farted?"
No. In the dream,
Yeah.
I woke up I woke up after like there's I'm not say anything.
Okay, good.
I know they didn't say anything. They released the fart. It was just starting, and then it all went black. And I didn't dream anything else.
That's
But
great.
someone asked me to go out.
That's funny. She's kind of breaking up.
That's
a bit.
hilarious. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. Well, thanks, Savannah, for calling, honey.
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
recent
Late
girl.
birthday. She hung up.
Hey,
She's like,
so-
enough of you guys.
Well, it's funny because like kids will have dreams about things in school. Adults have these as well, like where you are having a dream that like you show up and you're like naked. You look down and you're like, oh my God.
I've
Like,
never
I
had.
haven't, but I'm saying there's cases
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
happening. I have had dreams about teeth a lot.
Teeth.
And Cass will recall this, scared the shit out of her. Sorry.
No bad language.
We're sleeping in bed, dude, and I jump out, like literally physically jump out of the bed, like Exorcist style, and I run.
my
I
God.
run into a corner, and I say teeth, and like that, and she's like, "What is going on?" This is her first impression of me having like a bad dream. I was like, "Teeth." And then she woke me up, and what I told her was a dentist had walked in the dream, and his head were teeth, and he was coming at me.
Oh.
It freaked me out, right?
Ew, I don't like dentists anyway.
I hate Dr. Duffel's the man. Well, we can't talk.
Yeah.
Hey, so
He's your man, not mine.
Yeah. So, but they say that if you're dreaming about teeth, then you have anxiety in your life, or like if you're having a dream that you're like naked, right? Like that
Yeah.
you're insecure, right?
Yeah, I mean
So-
the old dream is where you're giving a speech and you realize
Oh!
you're not wearing any clothes.
Yeah.
But now
And
they
you're
say
worried. You're
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's like when I've heard also, I think one of my professors in college has said, well, turn it around. He said, so if you're nervous about it, giving a speech, think everybody else is naked,
Right.
and you're the only one dressed properly.
Yeah. And if only you could control your dreams, right? Like
Well, that's the whole lucid dreaming
that
thing,
is
right?
a lucid dream. Yes, is that you are making the decisions within the dream.
I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, because if you could create your own scenario, like go, like you said, an adventure dream, climb a mountain
Right.
or something cool, and if you could control it, but that's the thing though. I just don't know
Well,
how.
then it could be a very good therapeutic device for the body,
Oh yeah.
because then you're in a dream state and you're able to control it, and you're
Well, think about
managing it.
healing yourself too.
Right, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
if you have something,
yeah.
you turn it around and where you're like, well, and that's kind of self hypnosis where
Right.
you create a white light or a healing light to start at the top of your head going down.
Move on
And there's
down.
been people that have claimed to been healed
Wow.
by doing that over and over and over.
The power of what's going on
A
inside
suggestion.
here is just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
where did Pam go?
I don't know.
I mean,
Hey,
'cause
Pusha
I was-
couldn't do it without her.
Yeah, couldn't do, well, I got to change it if I do. But, yeah,
Couldn't do it without her, Keith, and I wouldn't even try.
Todd Art Bell, man.
he's the best, wasn't
He's
he?
the best.
Did you guys enjoy that Art Bell show we did a few weeks ago? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was
And
awesome.
I hope it encouraged you guys to go actually watch some stuff. My cousin, Jaggy C,
Yep.
who she's so busy now, she's in biology. Her son-in-law is getting ready to run for Senate.
Really?
Yeah, and so she's so busy with that, she hasn't been able to come back on the show. And she's probably the rest of the year we're not going to see her.
That's fine.
But yeah,
Was she an Art Bell fan?
she was saying, she goes, as I'm typing this, she goes, I am listening to an Art Bell episode about missing people in national parks.
Oh,
And that was a big thing. The episode's called 411.
cool.
And it's
Okay.
about missing, or no, that's actually a movie. I take it back. But Art Bell had somebody on about that there's this huge number of people end up missing in national parks and they don't get solved. They don't find these people ever.
I wonder how many.
They just disappear.
Right. That's fascinating.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, no, they
might need
they
to do
don't
a-
find body parts.
Right.
They don't
right.
find any evidence that
I mean,
anybody
how
was
many,
there.
How many people do you think that happens to in a year?
It's
like in-
you would be surprised.
Yeah.
And
They just
even the
vanish?
guy that was doing the research on it said he was calling some of these state parks and they were tight-lipped
Right.
because he was requesting. He goes, I want all the police reports and information for missing people, and they would not give it to him.
Right.
And I'm sure that's probably a marketing thing. Like, well, we don't want people.
Yeah.
No one will ever come to
Yeah, definitely.
Yellowstone again.
Yeah,
or whatever.
definitely.
So so that's a big thing. There's several stories now. And
We might need to look into that a little bit further.
yeah, that might be a good show. And it's weird because it was maybe in the hundreds
Right.
a year.
That's
And
insane.
but it's unsolved. They
Yeah.
don't find these. It's like they said they disappeared and
So
to
let me ask
another
you-
world or
let
something.
me tie this back into dreaming.
Okay.
One of the things that got me, and I watched Interstellar last night. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have not.
Okay, you talked about dreaming being a dimensional shift. Is that what you call it?
I think so. Yeah,
So
dimensional
would
shift.
that be
or-
like a parallel universe?
Yes, that's what I kind of think is we don't know. So many universes could have strange creatures. When we have those dreams where we see weird things, like what the hell is that?
Yeah.
How do we know that's not a parallel universe where this
Right.
person or whatever it is, that's
Right.
their world. We've entered into it.
Right.
For a short time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's it, but I'm saying it's possible,
Right.
Because for the fact that science has not came with up any conclusive proof of why we dream. They
Absolutely.
really don't know.
You should watch the movie Interstellar. It's actually really fascinating.
I will.
But essentially, and no spoiler alert. I mean, is the further that they travel away from Earth, they're looking for a new planet to inhabit. Obviously, time for every hour, all of a sudden you're talking 7 years on Earth, right? Because they're moving away from Earth. And essentially, at the very end, he enters into a black hole, which is actually his memories from back home in real time. And so it's actually talking about, they call that the fifth dimension. And that would be essentially what you're saying.
Spinning weird.
Yeah. So, but earlier I kind of posed a question to you, like, it kind of makes me think of like, is this a dream? And then when we're sleeping,
I
that's our
know.
waking life.
Maybe.
Right?
Wow. What if
That's
that
our
was,
waking life.
What if that was?
Yeah.
But what a bizarre reality we would have, right?
Right.
I mean, because this would make more sense.
Well, maybe
then-
this is our brain, though.
But then we're almost getting into a whole Matrix thing.
Well,
Too, possibly.
it is so, but essentially, it's taking what some of these researchers have said, and it's saying the exact same thing, but in a different way. Because what they're saying is that our brain is trying to make sense of the world around us. Our brain is trying to tie together a story through either our imagination or our memories to evolve and to make us into a better person. So you said this has more order. This makes more sense.
Right.
So it would make more sense for this to actually be our dream and for that crazy shit to be our
I know,
reality,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that calls into question,
Pam, you about knocked the UFO over.
dude, what do we get? What do we get if this thing doesn't Roswell tonight?
You get to leave it there.
Oh,
You get to
okay.
leave it there.
Dang
Yeah.
it.
Pam says as soon as it falls, it's going up behind me.
I was hoping she was
So I
gonna
got to
say-
move my little beetle guys. Wait, there, that way, right there.
I was hoping,
I got to move those guys, put the UFO there, and then put the beetles over there.
I was hoping that we'd get some Chick-fil-A or something, but whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But hey, that kind of thought is unbelievable, though.
It is.
To really try to wrap your head around that is like, oh my god, dreams are insane.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Hey, what
Yeah.
do you say we give away something?
Let's do it.
All right,
is
so some of you guys who came in late, we'll give them a chance as well. We're giving away a free reading from the Military Medium. It's an email reading. It's worth $200. This guy's super good. He was generous enough to give us 2 of these. We're giving away 1 tonight, and we may give the other one when we hit 2,000 subs, is what I'm thinking. What do you think, Garrett?
Absolutely.
So anyway, so if you came in late, I was telling everybody who, if you're interested in wanting a free reading by the Military Medium, put a 1 in the chat box, and I'll give you a little bit of time. I'll give you a couple minutes here, then we will get started, and we'll see who gets to win.
Hey, while they do that,
Yeah,
my brother commented on the Instagram page about sleep paralysis.
yeah. Until you tell them you have another brother. So,
Oh yeah, I got 3 brothers. Yeah, so my brother Evan.
They're like, you're lying. You said your brother was.
No, my brother Evan. He actually battled with sleep paralysis for a while, and I guess there's a show on Netflix or something that talks about it, and
There's
it's
actually
terrifying.
been several. Yeah. It's
Terrifying,
pretty-
dude.
Yeah.
He's
He's
awake and he can't move.
I've had that happen 2 or 3 times. It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, he was freaked out by it. Yeah.
I couldn't move, and I was fully awake, and I mean, it seemed like it was forever. I mean, I'm sure it was
Right,
probably
right.
like maybe a minute, but when you're it was just like the scariest thing
Yeah.
I ever had.
Well,
It's
when
had to
you're-
happen twice.
When you're light years away,
Yeah,
time
well,
seems like it lasts forever. Or-
all right. Pam, add Sinbad and Salty.
Got them down.
Okay, and Greg, what does 254 mean? I see you put that earlier.
Kim is, I think, new in chat tonight.
Hey,
And-
Kim.
And actually, Kim has posted a question up earlier. I apologize, I didn't get it thrown out there earlier. I kind of have,
To the wise ones.
I'm doing
Yeah.
I'm doing double duty, so I got a little distracted on
And she went for a smoke break, so she did.
well, and the job that actually pays the bills at the moment. Anyway,
such a
Kim
wise
has had kind of a recurrent dream,
Okay.
not a recurrent dream, but she said she's had it twice about her own funeral.
Oh my God.
What do you think that is?
Scary.
fear.
Yeah, I'm so spiritual that if something like that happened to me, I'd probably worry every day of my life. So, Kim, did you know about what age you were when you went to your funeral? Was it open casket? Could you kind of sense the about how old you might have been? That would scare me to death.
Yeah, that's actually.
I don't want any
really-
dreams like
It's a really interesting dream.
that. Is very interesting dream.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that would speak to interpersonal relationships, just like those stories and jokes you hear about, I wonder who would come to my funeral.
Yeah, or some psychiatrists would say, Kim, what that is you are putting a problem to rest. That you're giving a funeral for something that you had a negative feeling about. You don't want it anymore. And it's just like when you get the death card in tarot cards, it doesn't mean you're going to die. It means that
Change.
We're going for a change. We're putting this behind us.
Interesting.
And so maybe subconsciously, Kim, there's a something
moving on.
that you're trying to move on. Yeah.
That's really fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you get, let's see, Kendley Stone?
Yes.
Okay. I guess.
Yes.
Okay. And then Greg says it's not one. Yeah. So you're not getting one.
Hey, I was gonna come to Greg's defense.
I was
that-
thinking he was just putting that in just to be a smart ass.
Hey, earlier he said something about how much he loves.
no bad language.
No bad language.
Oh.
How much he loves Pamela. And and somebody was like, "Hey, that's not very nice, Greg." And I don't think they realized, you know what I mean? You can't they're like coming to your defense, like, you can't talk about Keith's wife like that.
No. This is Greg.
Greg and I have an understanding.
Yeah, so you guys,
Greg's awesome.
under,
I love me some Greg.
I love
Yeah.
me some Greg too.
Greg's the best. What you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys that don't know, Greg is one of my really dear friends. He's
Very
also
talented, very
he's
talented.
a very talented guy. He's our bass player in a band, and it's just kind of a running joke. Like we mentioned, he said he's going to come over here and skinny dip with Pam, and he'll ask me like, when I come spend the night, where are you going to sleep, Keith? You know?
Yeah.
And to me, it's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So I have no problem with it.
He's a wise guy.
He's a wise guy, that guy.
Forget about it.
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, for this military medium thing is Garrett
Garrett.
Garrett is going to throw a dart. And so
What if I can't hit the number though?
we'll keep until you hit the
Okay,
number.
can I get like super close?
What happened to the dartboard?
Oh, I moved it. It's right here.
Okay. So how many people, Pam, do we have?
We have 7 right now.
And we've got how many numbers on here? 19. So
Hey, they each get to pick 2.
yeah, so everybody, this is the dart.
No,
No.
let me assign.
Okay.
Yeah. Pam, all good. Yeah,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
this is the dartboard. Pam, do you want them to pick 2 numbers?
No, I will
Just one?
assign.
Let Pam be the.
Pam's going to sign numbers,
She's the ref.
and I'm going to go stand over that way. And
Okay.
we won't cheat, I promise. You won't be able to see him throwing a dart. You'll see him throw
We're
it.
not gonna cheat. Yeah, we would.
I
never
know.
cheat.
We're not going to cheat, so don't worry about that. So
Hey, I'm not even.
I'll wait until Pam gets done here.
Hey, Pam, I want you to tell me the numbers. Oh wait, no, Pam's the ref.
I want to show my.
But I didn't want to know whose numbers they were.
I want to show you guys my shirt.
I love your shirt, dude.
Keith doing Keith things.
Doing Keith things.
This is totally a key thing, man.
It is.
Who would have thought that this show would have turned into this? Whenever we first had the
I remember when we started out with 2 followers.
hey, we were just like at the kitchen table, like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I was like, you were like, will you do it with me? And I said, yeah.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
I remember you also. I have a picture of one of our initial meetings, and it's at my house. He came over, and for some reason you had your little pistol, and we had notes, and there's your pistol on the table, and I sent it to Larry. I was like, look how badass Life After Life meetings are.
Yeah. I
love it. Look
I have
what we've done.
concealed carry. I do carry.
Hey,
I don't have a concealed, but we have open carry in Oklahoma, so I can carry in the
Constitutional carry.
constitutional carry, so I can carry anywhere.
Hey, stand up one more time.
What?
Show your shirt one more time.
Okay.
This right here, guys. This is Keith doing Keith things. This is I love it. This has been amazing.
Okay. So Pam, do you have numbers?
I do.
Okay.
All right. I got to take these headphones off.
Me too. I actually gotta take these off. The last time I played darts was in an underground tournament in South Philly.
So you don't even know.
I'm terrible at darts.
Are we doing this on camera?
No. I was just
Okay.
getting out of the way. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna have you. And
Oh my god. Okay.
all right.
Hey, there's a lot of
Here
numbers.
we
Okay.
go.
Hey, first off,
Here we
everybody,
go.
look. This doesn't even have an end to it.
Well, just throw it away.
No.
We just got to hit 1.
Okay.
Okay. How many does he throw? Do we the first one? That's a winner.
I think the first one's a winner.
Okay.
Hey, that's it then. 19. Anybody pick 19?
Candalee Stone.
Hey.
Really? First try?
First try.
Dang, man, I want to throw all of them.
And so that we're not cheating.
I threw a really good one.
Right there.
Hey, to be fair, that doesn't have the end to it. That doesn't have little feathers. So.
Yeah, but you can't take it back from him. That would not be nice. So
That's excellent, dude.
Candalee,
Send your information.
send your information to
lifeafterlife@gmail.com.
lifeafterlife@gmail.com. Pam, would you put that in there?
Or
Yes.
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's pretty cool, man. I was gonna say it really fast, and then we can talk about dreams a little bit more if you are okay with that.
Yeah. So Candalee, go ahead and, like I said, send that information to Pam's going to post it, and Garrett will take your information, give it to me, and then I will send you an email of all the information to make an appointment with the military medium.
Mona's so thoughtful.
What?
She's like praying that
He doesn't hit Keith. Well, we're lucky because those are those magnetic
Yeah.
ones. So,
Definitely
are you
not.
kidding? If Garrett had a real dart, there's no way I'd hold it.
Gotcha.
So, congratulations, Candalee.
Yes.
God, I don't
Yeah,
never
keep
get that
pushing
right.
right there. Yeah. Hey, Candalee, you're gonna have an awesome. I mean, I'll endorse him.
Yeah.
You're gonna have an awesome experience.
Okay,
Super
and
cool.
just to explain real quick, Mel's saying, wait, I didn't get to pick a number. I picked numbers for everybody and assigned them randomly.
So, Mel, you got a number.
You got numbers, I promise you. We only had 7 people in. Most of you got 2 numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
and
Oh boy, that was Greg.
oh, cool. Let's talk dreams, Greg.
All right, Greg, you're on the air. Don't say
morning.
anything dirty
Good morning, Greg.
Oh my God! Why does everybody say that when I get on the phone?
because believe me, there's a reason that everybody says don't say
Like
anything
the
dirty,
first
Greg.
thing everybody says.
I
Hey,
don't
let
say
me
that.
let me explain this. So, like when me and my kids are in the car, if Greg calls, I have to
Yeah,
say, "Greg, my kids are in the car,"
Yeah.
before we even go. So, all right. So, what's up, man? How you doing?
All right, Keith. You know my dream stories.
What do you tell
Because,
it?
I want to hear it. I don't know.
well,
Yeah, Greg has these crazy dreams that come true.
Dude, let's hear it.
All right, bring it.
okay. So here's how it started. I was a normal dreaming guy, and then I was in college. I was taking a psychology class, and if you did projects, you didn't have to take the test.
Right.
So I did every project that I could sign up for.
Absolutely.
One of them was write down your dreams every night. You had to get a journal. You had to write them down. If you remembered it in the middle of the day, he'd say, I know you can't write it down but you try to write it down, make notes, whatever, and then fill the journal in when you get home. His theory was that every dream is stored and that you remembered it, but the bridge from your conscious to your subconscious, well, to any information, like, you can remember your old phone number when you were a kid.
I can. I remember.
You knew it really well.
I know all my
And then
phone numbers.
maybe you knew your best friends, or maybe you knew somebody else's. But then years later, you can't really remember that number again. But then somebody will say it, and then you go, oh yeah, that was it.
Right.
And he said, so the information was there. You just lost the bridge to get to that information. His theory was if you wrote down your dreams and you remembered your dreams, you'd strengthen that bridge to where your dreams are stored, and you would get to where you could remember all of it.
I've heard of that.
And that's exactly what happened. I started off writing a sentence or two, and by the end of the semester, I'm writing pages. I'm writing.
Wow.
I'm dreaming like entire years in a night. It was exhausting. I mean, I would go to work. I'd go to sleep. I'd work all night in my dreams. I'd wake up and I'd be exhausted. I finally had to, if I woke up and I started remembering my dreams, I'd have to not think about it because I wanted to get back to the way I was before.
For sure. Do you still
After
have
I got
those?
done with that class.
Do you think you still have
Well, so what happened? Let me kind of tell you, and then where I'm at. So right after I got out of school, I would have these dreams that, and then something would happen. Like one night I dreamed, I used to make these forts out of hay, and I dreamed my cousin and I were making these forts, and I moved the hay bale, and there was a astronaut arm there, like in a big astronaut glove, the big white thing.
Yep.
Just that arm inside that hay bale fort.
Okay.
And then I woke up and I get to work and they're saying, hey, did you hear it was when Columbia exploded, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, or was it Challenger? I forget which one. Anyway, when the space shuttle exploded.
It was Challenger.
And I thought,
Challenger,
so
crazy.
anyway, I wrote that. I tried to explain it off. I'm like, okay, I probably, my radio, I woke up to radio, right?
Right.
So I probably was half asleep and heard the newscast and I was still dreaming. So I would go through, and when these things would happen, I'd always try to find a reason that I could explain it off,
Right.
And then sometimes I would tell people, well, I'll jump ahead. We went into COVID, our band just quit playing. We were just shut down.
Yep.
We weren't, nobody was booking anybody. And we kind of fell where, I have to travel to go to practice. So we were like, okay, well, we'll practice in a couple of months or whatever. And then I woke up, I had a dream that somebody called, and we had like 1 week to get ready for this show. And I texted Keith and I said, hey, we probably need to practice because I had a dream that somebody jumps up here in a week or two and books us for something.
Told me about that.
Yeah.
And how many days was it, Keith?
It was pretty quick, maybe 4 or 5 days.
Dude, he told me about it.
Yeah.
What
And
happened.
That was
But another one that happened. and nothing, nothing great, but like, my son's baseball team was playing to get into state. We had one more ball game. Tomorrow night we're going to play this game. We win, we go to state. We lose, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And my son's coach was a good friend of mine. So that night I dreamed the whole game, and it ended 5-5 in the fifth inning. We never finished the game. It was just 5-5 in the fifth. That's all I remembered. So talking to the coach the next morning, I said, well, I must be going crazy because I dreamed about this game. And he goes, well, I hope you dreamed we won. And I go, actually, it was 5-5 in the fifth. That's all I know. And then that night we're playing the game, and they called the game because of storms.
Oh, dude.
5-5 in the fifth. But see, since I told that coach that morning, I have verification,
Right.
So I walked up to him, and he's kind of looking at me, and I go, hey, and I go 5-5 in the fifth. I mean, his face turned red.
Dude. Yeah,
He
absolutely.
was freaking out.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
crazy.
so-
bizarre.
It's never anything good like lottery numbers or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's always a lot of weird things, like, I don't know. You dream you see a fender bender, and then the next day you go to Walmart and somebody backs into somebody, just stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But I really had to quit thinking about my dreams because it got to the point to where it was exhausting me. It was just when you woke up and you could remember maybe an entire 4 years you
Right.
dreamed something that took 4, because you can dream really fast. I mean, you can put 4 years in a night.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
And so anyway, that's my dream stories. And then of course I had the one that really set everybody knew was I dreamed Pam was going to work and telling everybody how hot I was. And then that happened.
Yeah, I guess that's the dream that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
great.
Keith.
Oh, God.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Greg, I'll see you in a couple
All
of
right,
weeks,
Keith.
buddy.
Love you.
Love
Hey,
you too,
see
buddy.
Greg. Thank
Alrighty,
you,
baby.
dude.
See you in a couple.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
I remember him telling me about those
I
dreams.
remember you calling
Because
me.
I thought, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you had mentioned that around that
Yeah.
time. You're like, yeah, this like happened. We had a show.
Yeah, I know. It was funny. He sent a text to everybody. We have a band text, and he said, "Hey, guys, maybe we should practice because you never know." And then also he said, I had a dream
Yeah.
that and then 5 days later, or maybe even the agent called and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we got a quick show coming up,"
Let's go.
and we're like, "Wow."
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I think it's cool that it's all realistic stuff too. Because, you mentioned it's
Yeah.
like, I wish it was like lottery numbers or something.
God,
But it
wouldn't
is
that be
kind of
great?
like everyday things. That's quite interesting.
It is. It is.
The astronaut arm definitely could have been like he heard it on the radio before, but since he has all these other real ones, that's odd, dude. The 5-5 in the fifth,
Yeah.
5-5 in the fifth.
Fifth.
He needs to dissect that one a little bit more. Maybe there's more to that one.
He needs to go to Vegas. is what he
Yeah,
needs to do.
yeah, definitely. Ooh, that's a good idea.
And
Surround
certain-
himself by it.
Yeah. So, do you got anything else on dreams that you want to talk about? You had quite a few notes there, buddy.
Yeah, I did. I talked about a lot of this stuff. Hey, last thing I was going to say, this might resonate with some people. I had a really bad car wreck. That's why I had to get out of the military. And so I did have this dream, and it always ends good, is that because I flipped my car 6 times.
Yeah,
And
you were in bad shape, Marie.
Yeah, the reason why I knew I flipped it 6 times is because somebody actually was sitting there counting as I
Oh
did
my
it.
God.
Yeah, slammed it
You're
into
lucky.
a
You're so
tree.
lucky to be alive.
I know, super lucky. But I would have dreams for a couple years after that. But when I would be rolling, instead of hitting the tree, my car would just start to float away, and I couldn't get it to stop. And I would just keep
wow.
flowing up until I just was super scared. Like, oh my God, and then I would just wake up.
Man.
But have you ever had a floating dream? Like where you float and you just keep floating?
I really haven't had it. I wish I'd have some flying dreams. Although I'm scared to death of heights.
I knew that, yeah.
But maybe in dreams I wouldn't be. But I've never had any. No, I never had anywhere I floated or I flew around.
Have you ever had any that you wake up the next day and you feel the fear, or like, because I know like when I'm floating up, was it a cat?
Did I hear something? I think it was one of your cats.
Dude, I hope it was.
I thought it was like a little kid.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
if not, we
God.
just caught an EVP.
We got it.
We'll have to play it back.
Yeah. So like where you wake up the next day and you do feel like panicked or something. Or
do you
weird,
mean? Well, do
like,
you mean
ugh.
without recalling the dream? Like
No, with recalling the dream.
Oh.
Where you're like,
Oh, I mean, I've had dreams like that.
Or you're like, just something weird. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy, dude. Dreams are insane.
But I
man.
never had like like even waking up with some anxiety about something. Nothing ever came to it or
Right.
fruition.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could. Like I said, Ben, I wish so much I could do the lucid dreaming thing.
I might start writing down my dreams.
Yeah.
I might try to do that.
I've heard of
turn
into Greg.
Yeah.
And then
That'd be cool.
Then we work on those lottery numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I keep hearing things through the headphones.
Yeah. We'll have to go back and play it.
We'll have to go back. Maybe we caught an EVP, but I heard a little kid. It sounded like a little kid, but also cats when they do that.
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
cats. Sound like little
Was there a
kids.
cat over there? Okay.
Okay,
God.
so that's probably the
Jesus,
cat.
Man, come on. Hey, I will say the most fascinating part of this dream journey that we just had, I think, and it was a really interesting discussion. So thank you for that topic. Is that the idea that this is our dream, and that while we're sleeping, that's our reality.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
that's crazy.
That's gonna be a weird one to think about tonight.
Yeah, we were
sure.
gonna do an NDE show, but then I got to thinking all it'd be would be me reading stories to you guys. I mean, the only way I'd want to do that is if we could have a guest,
Right? Yeah.
who actually had NDE that we could interview. Because other than that, it'd be just like
near-death experience.
Yeah, it would be
for
just
everybody that doesn't know. So if you guys know of anybody, send them our way for sure.
So yeah, absolutely, yeah. If you guys know anybody who's had an NDE, or if any of you have had an NDE, put it down in the chat box, and let's get you calling in on and explaining everything that happened.
Absolutely.
But anyway, next week is going to be Delphi. We're going to recap Delphi. We got a new suspect, kind of interesting guy, looks similar and everything. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, I for the families and everybody, I hope it's this guy.
I do too.
This guy is absolutely. Even his family came on and said he would kill people.
Whoa.
Yeah, his dad, his stepdad, I think it said that, and his brother said he tried to drown him when he was 4 years old.
I wonder if he spent any time in Evansville.
Well, they're looking into Evansdale and they're looking into Delphi.
Really?
With this kid, yeah.
What?
With this guy, yeah. Yeah, he's being looked at for Delphi and Evansdale.
That makes me feel so good.
Like, yeah, because if it's...
That was my episode.
And he lives...
the Evansdale connection.
And he lives in Lafayette, Indiana, which is not that far from Delphi, and like you said, it's a possibility where he was, during the Evansdale thing. So interesting guy. But again, we're not saying he's guilty, and he may not be. I mean,
I think it'll be important for us to kind of revisit, though, because for those of you who didn't watch the Delphi series, that was a crazy, crazy time for me and Keith and Pamela and everybody in our families, because we were all talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch them, we really did a good job. Like I was really happy because it's us.
I was happy as we evolved with it, because we I think the very first show, Garrett and I had just started kind of researching it, and we got some facts wrong here and there, and of course the Delphi community slammed us because
I don't mind saying Delphi community, like YouTube community, is wild.
Yeah, those
calm down, guys.
It brings the Delphi brings the crazies out.
Yeah, I've even seen people comment, like not in this or but like on Instagram, about the Delphi community being great. But hey, Delphi people, calm down. We're keeping it alive, and that's
and that's one thing I mentioned over on every show is like, hey, Delphi people, who have their YouTube channels. Let's not fight. Let's work together.
Why not?
Let's come together and let's see if we can, work together and bring this to the forefront for the families and that kind of thing. And even there was a certain person, I won't say her name, but she kind of was hard on us. And we, I was never rude or anything. And she did a whole show where she said, "Hey, man, those guys are great guys.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have behaved like I did." Yeah. And they actually, when I said rude things, they didn't come back with anything, not mean or anything like that.
No, yeah.
And so now we're friends with her. And I noticed she put a comment on the West Memphis 3 saying, "Oh man, I missed that one."
Yeah.
So, and she and then her New Year's resolution, because I watched her New Year's show, and she talked about us a lot. And then she also said, "Well, my New Year's things, I'm going to quit saying bad things about people."
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, hey, throughout that series, we kind of, I think, made a little bit of a splash. Like at least in the Delphi, and
that's when.
Well, even in the Delphi YouTube scene, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that people are like, wait, who are these guys?
Our highest rating video is Matt Sullivan.
Yep, that was a really
with,
good
I
one,
think
man.
around 11,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's something Garrett and I talked about. We noticed, when we do paranormal show, it might get 200-300 views, but as we do a true crime show, it gets over 1,000 usually.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
So we're gonna start. We'll throw some true crime back in there.
Yeah, we will eventually. But this stuff, people will go back and listen to these, and these are really important conversations that we're having. I think.
Are, and that's like I said. I say this every show. This is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to get a whole community of like-minded people, or not even like-minded.
I was gonna say, not even like-minded.
Yeah, we can take criticism or other people's ideas about what happens when we die.
I invite it. You know me. I'm always like, I want to see those comments. I want to see those other opinions. So.
Yeah, as I get older, it's like I won't. Like I said, I'm. I'll tell you something funny. It was horrible at the time, but I remember I was a senior. It was the last day of school, right? And the teacher goes, "Okay, guys, remember, every day you live is one day closer to your death."
Yep.
And I never thought about that. I thought, oh my God, she's right.
Yeah.
It's like every day we live is one day closer to your death.
Or are you dying?
Yeah, I thought, what a great thing to say on the last day of school.
Yeah,
right?
Thanks, Teach.
Yeah, as we're getting ready to enter the real world.
Yeah.
You might die. So
good luck.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Well, another fascinating show.
It was a good show.
Good job, Pamela.
Dreams.
Thank you for keeping us organized again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Hey, Ann, look.
You guys are out of control.
Look at this.
You guys are out. Yeah, I know the flying saucer is still spinning. That means it gets another show unless one of us knocks it over before we end this.
Yeah.
So let's hurry.
We love you
So
guys.
anyway, congratulations again to Candelise, I think is her name.
Yeah,
we're having some challenges there a little bit. Candelise said that she's tried. She's not real tech savvy, so the email thing isn't working. Charles O, I know, had said he'd emailed a couple weeks ago, and you said you never found anything on that. Charles said he never got a response from anything on that. So I think we may be having some issues with our Gmail.
Okay, let's go. Pam, go ahead and put my email in there.
Okay.
Do the British Invasion Keith at gmail.com. And Charles, if you want to, whatever you sent, because I did follow up with Garrett like about every day asking if he got that, and he said he never did. So Pam is going to type in.
Tell me again.
Okay, British Invasion Keith at gmail.com. She's going to put that in. So, Charles, if you want to resend what you sent to that address, and Candelise, you can send that also to that address.
Yeah, because I just sent myself an email from my real email, my other email address, and I didn't get it.
Did you look?
I'm going to have to fix that.
Did you look in spam and everything?
Yeah, I looked everywhere.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I've had problems with Gmail before, and if that doesn't work, I'll make up a live.com.
Man, yeah, because I was looking for it. I think people have been trying to email us a couple times. So
yeah, the live.com thing has been super reliable with me.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out, guys.
And like I'll check tonight, and I may come.
I figured it out. Oh my God, there's 2 L's in life. I was in a hurry when I was doing this, guys.
You put 2 L's in life?
It's life after low life.
Okay, so
let me fix this.
So Sasquatch over here.
With his Sasquatch fingers.
With his big Sasquatch fingers.
Oh God, dude. Sorry.
So
I'll fix it.
That's funny. I wonder if were their emails getting returned, or someone might have that as a Gmail. You know, there's a bunch of. I started looking at one of my favorite shows, which I just came across on an accident. It's called Life to Afterlife.
Oh, cool.
And the guy's awesome. He does a lot of like medium kind of things.
Sweet.
Where he talks to John Lennon.
Oh, you told me about that.
Marilyn Monroe, all these people.
Super interesting.
It's really cool. All right, so guys, go ahead and try. Did you just now set up another?
No, I got to go home and figure it out. I'm not tech
okay.
savvy
So
either.
go ahead and send it to the British Invasion Keith at Gmail, and I apologize for that. We weren't ignoring anybody. We were trying to.
Yeah, I was looking forward
We
to
were just trying to
emails,
figure
dang
out
it.
what's going on with that.
All right,
So,
got it. I thought people just didn't want to email us.
well, that's what I kind of thought too. I was like, well, oh well.
Hey,
Sasquatch fingers and ADHD brains.
Yeah, yeah. Makes for a perfect paranormal show.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it does.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep, we appreciate it.
Great
All right.
discussion.
We will see you next Tuesday. And like I said, update on Delphi. And let's see what's going on. Maybe, I would think if it's that guy, but I don't know.
I say yeah.
That they would have already checked DNA. That's something else. I kind of found out something else about the DNA that's a little interesting that might not be real good DNA at all. And they're not even sure it's from the killer.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, yeah. I'll let you guys in on that.
Brief me.
Yeah, I'll brief you after the show about this. So anyway, all right. Well,
Love you guys, thank you.
Good night. Have a wonderful evening. And
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Yes, we'll see you next week.